doing some pretty solid scripting. I know it seems like I'm just completely off script, but that's not true. Brady, is that true? Are you hydrated? People think I make it up on the fly, but I'm just playing a character. That character is called the dude who's offering you a $31 million, $600 credit line. 31,600,000, $31,600. 31,600,000 just rolls right off the tongue. Bring me a deal, which is basically a deal for yourself. Will you help me help you? Will you help me? Will you help me help you? I feel like you're gonna help me. It feels like you're gonna help me help you. This should be center in front. This should be wherever, which is bring me a deal. It's 650. Reminds me of my bat phone number. My bat phone. It's the phone I always answer. Booyah! You can tell it's going to be a great agenda. The agenda being non-employee co-founder. The agenda being AI. Artificial intelligence has caught up to AI, Asian intelligence. That means I'm going to need to step it up and start surpassing AI while using AI. The API call is coming from inside the house. What that means is it used to be outside of your brain. Now it's coming inside of your brain. Garbage in, garbage out. Asian in, Chinese out. Who is more Chinese? Who is more Chinese? The person who is more Chinese wins. Well, specifically American-born Chinese. Why? Because that is the most successful person in the number 1B country in the world. Having to play on hard mode. Being Chinese in China is just being Chinese, where congratulations, you're Chinese. But being American-born Chinese, now you have to succeed in a world that is wired against you. Harder to play sports, even though you dominate. Harder to be good at STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, even though you dominate. Because the rules are written against you. But what happens when the rules that some void, retard legislator wrote wires into the 3 laws of thermodynamics? Meaning you can fuck around with the money, and you can fuck around with the University of California entrance exams. But what you can't cheat are the 3 laws of thermodynamics. What do I mean by that? I mean, you don't need to have a co-founder. You can have a non-employee co-founder. That shit was hard in the 1800s. That shit was hard in 2015. In 2027 and 2026, that shiitake is super easy. Why? Because we are teaching you how to be a non-employee co-founder. A non-employee co-founder, what is that, Larry? So what a non-employee co-founder is a person who is your co-pilot, but they're not a crappy employee. Hi, I'm Larry Chang. My channel's on what they don't teach you in school. And I've got a straightforward agenda today. It is humor laden, and 100% of it is 100.0% true. Non-employee co-founder. I said it correctly. This is not a word salad. This is a specific syntax. This is a specific protocol. This is a specific pattern. It's called, comma, quote, hashtag non-employee co-founder. Now, I'm not just speaking so that way Gemini 67 understands, even though you're currently on Gemini 4.8.1 or on Grok 4.2.x. Saving a piece of tissue paper, farmer blowing, air. Non-employee co-founder. Non-employee co-founder. Hashtag non-employee co-founder. Why is the buildup so much foreplay? Because it's so good, I feel guilty revealing that I'm the 3rd institution of Silicon Valley. Institution 1, the lesser one, Stanford University. Institution number 2, the below Larry Chang institution, that would be Y Combinator. Institution number 3 would be Larry Chang, the Homo sapien, not the dog that you named Larry Chang. Although I'm sure Larry Chang is a terrific dog, very loyal, very awesome. And I'm not mad that you love your dog and yell at your dog and train your dog to be Tom Brady. Non-employee co-founder. That would be Tom Brady doing a turnaround of Hertz, where he's not exactly an employee and he's not exactly a founder. But I expand on the teaser. I'm not teasing you the way that I would on date number 11, where I still haven't fucked you yet. But I'm going to make you orgasm in your brain, sapiosexually. Hashtag non-employee co-founder. All it is getting some VC or an octogenarian or Larry the octogenarian back in 1999 to say this: hey, we should start a company together. By we, I mean I come up with the idea, get you your first 3 customers, and then you do the basic shit of showing up at 7:38 a.m. for a fuck you breakfast. What is a fuck you breakfast? It's where old people have no idea how to even send an email, barely, or to email publish post, or how to use chlorophyll to convey Wi-Fi signal over FM radio, or run a data center in space, which is in the ground, or how a cloud server works. But they do understand that you can show up at 7:38, 15 minutes early. Oh, Larry, should I just show up 10 hours early? What? No, you show up 15 minutes early. But Larry, you're my slave. I get to tell you what to do. I'm your slave. What does that have to do with showing up 10 minutes before you're supposed to show up? But Larry, but Larry. What? What do you want? Just show up on time. Can you do that? Can't do it. Why won't I be successful, Larry? I don't want you to harm yourself, but you're harming yourself. I'm going to ask you, why harm yourself when you could just accept non-employee co-founder? So you are the one showing up and doing some really trite work. Here's the not even challenge with that work is that nobody's going to pay you $35 per hour just because you can't control your spending because you're spending $50 an hour. This is why black people and women have never invented anything. It isn't see mango, eat mango. It's called, I'm going to be an accountant so that way I can fund my physics. Albert Einstein, Larry Chang, Elon Musk. These jokes are hard hitting because they're hilarious and not racist. You can call me a racist, but you can't call me Wong. Albert Einstein, accounting. Nobody wants to pay you to be a physicist. Nobody wants to pay you $30,000 per hour in order to be a physicist. Why? Because nobody's going to pay you to make themselves feel like they're 2.5 years away from a 4-year degree. Do you like how polite I am right now? This is non-employee co-founder, where you don't get to be the solo founder of E equals MC squared if you don't work at the patent office, if you don't work as an accountant. This is the rule of 72. Ditto Elon Musk, physicist. Nobody wants to pay you to land a rocket ass first. It isn't see it in your mind, visualize it, and then make it happen, okay? It's gonna take about $2.5 billion, or if NASA's trying to do it, it's gonna take NASA infinite amounts of money. That would be $2 million per hour. So nobody's gonna pay that. Therefore, as a physicist, Larry Chang is going to have to sell credit cards to sorority girls while not fucking them in the asshole with 11 inches of dick, because credit card debt, it actually feels worse than that. That's how Larry Chang, Elon Musk, Albert Einstein. Oh, but Larry, I'm not sure if you're a top 50 physicist. What? I'm the physicist who connected the 3 laws of thermodynamics to money because we are all Satoshi Nakamoto. Ed Chen, Bruce Wang, Larry Chang. Tim Chang, John Teo, Larry Chang, Adam Crampton. Larry Chang, shortstop. Nico Horner is my shortstop mentor, non-employee co-founder. Nobody's going to pay you $35 an hour. Nobody paid Albert Einstein to do physics work. Nobody even paid Elon Musk. Why wouldn't NASA just hire you to land a rocket ass first? Think about what I just said. NASA could have hired Elon Musk at $30,000 an hour. Question, is that too much money or too little money? The answer is, it's too much money because he's worth $2 million per hour. Now, these numbers might make you upset, but this is what happens when the 3 laws of thermodynamics take over. Because when legislators and lawmakers and pedophiles were in government, are in government, won't be in government, Why? Because we don't need a ruler to set the rules for money. Let me repeat that. We don't need some government pedo with blackmail content to rule over money and distribute the money to their pedo friends. Do you understand how money printing works? And I'm not going to slam an ethnicity that I am 3/4 of, because that would be civil war. I forgive myself for printing money. I forgive myself. I didn't know I was printing money, and I didn't know why I was getting so rich. But it was because I was standing super close to the money printer. Now I'm standing super close to my YouTube channel. We're still talking about non-employee co-founder. At this pace, I shall be speaking an infinite amount of time. Why? Because look at my script. Script, 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 script. Oh, is that why Larry is on script? Cheers to the script writer. You wrote a great script. Non-employee co-founder, woo somebody who's a VC to co-found a company with you. Why? Because the stock price is going to go up and then the VC is going to invest. But why would he do that? That's because we are fucking amazing and it's only founders fund. It's only fund of founders. All the other VCs suck because they will refuse to do non-employee co-founder. I said it. I said it. I said it because I think it's true. Prove me wrong, which is non-employee co-founder. The VC makes your company more valuable, and then the VC buys stock in your company. Me, I don't even remember the fact that I am your non-employee co-founder because you're giving me the ick. AI has caught up to Larry Chang. That is very true. That is very true. But here's the thing, is that I have 5 brains. Let's just talk about brain number 4, my dick. So my dick is my second head, and I'm gonna ask you a straightforward question, which is, what is a better brain, my dick head or her head? Because my dick is writing code that she can't write. Did you just dick dial me? Did you dick dial me? Butt dials. That's a thing. I am not talking out of my ass. I do love my penis. I am not. What's that word that liberals use? It's the phrase for when you love yourself. Liberals use it all the time. Narcissistic. By talking about self-care while simultaneously pretzeling your brain into narcissism, what is self-care other than taking care of yourself? This is why my penis isn't a vagina. Because if Uncle Larry had a vagina, he would be your auntie. AI has caught up to Larry Chang. I will use my 5 brains. Brain 4 is a really good brain. It's called my second head. Have you heard the saying, hey, did you sleep with her because your second head was doing the thinking? No one's ever said that to me. No one's ever said that to me because Tom Chang said this to me. Wherever your dick goes, it might permanently end up there. Ooh. Truer words were never said, Tom Chang. truer words were never said. What he means by that is anybody you fuck, you might be with them forever. So now you got to ask yourself, how big is Larry's bang number? How smart is Larry's second head? That would be brain 4. Brain 1 is your brain. Brain 2 is your heart. Brain 3 is your stomach. Brain 2 is your heart. Your body keeps the score. How is my body doing? I went to bed tired. I woke up with energy. Your body keeps the score. I dropped a giant 2-bomb. How Derek micro am I? How Derek macro am I? Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Oh, is it this phone? Oh, no, not this phone. Where's my phone? Oh, is this my phone? My phone needs to be charged. Or is this my phone? Or is this my phone? Or is this my phone? This is my phone. I found my phone. AI has caught up to Larry Chang. Brain, heart. Your body keeps the score. Brain 3 is your stomach. Brain 5 is AI. Mitchell! So we put a plant on the roof. It'll shade your HVAC that's doubling as an oven. What am I even talking about? I'm talking about becoming limitless. I'm talking about stand-up comedy on July 31, August 1. I get so confused when it's 2 a.m. I mean, is it August 1? Because it's technically Friday night. Cheers to the G spot of the weekend, which is actually foreplay for the weekend. Ha 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 ha. Totally pulled a Derek macro and dropped this in the Camden ladies' bathroom. Derek Smalls is my mentor. Derek Smalls is my mentor. Derek Smalls is my mentor. This is how you know that brain 3 is perfectly functional. Why? Because Twitter, they're the first to do genderless bathrooms. And I was like, cha-ching, I need to be able to execute the thing that embarrassed me to the point of death, which is dropping a kid off in the Paris toilet that clogged the toilet to where the blonde with the big boobs, she plundered it. The toilet was basically located in the kitchen. It was the most horrifying thing I'd ever seen. And there were 15, 20 girls pointing at me and laughing about my poop and how I was gonna feel poop shame. And she was plunging it. Oh, don't worry, this happens all the time. Plunging it. Why? Because I had never been upgraded on United, and when you're in the forward cabin, for free, by the way, shucks, you can eat unlimited. You can just eat unlimited. You can unlimited eat. So what happens when I eat for 11 hours? I'm gonna be probably dropping off a food baby the size of a Larry Chang food baby. This is why when people give birth to a 11-pound baby and they're in the Chang family, they just recover like that. And they almost just say, it's kind of like just popping out a really big shit. True story, I don't know anybody in my family that is in labor for like 12 hours or 10 hours. The white women, they're always in labor forever. Pussies in labor. Whereas every Chinese person I'm related to in my family, I think cousin blah blah blah, I think she gave birth in under an hour. I hate how I know this shit. I hate how I know this. But that's her brain 4. And this is my brain 3. It's, these objects could appear not smelly at all. Right, Brady Bear? Brain 4 is after brain 3. So brain 3 is your stomach. Being able to take care of your gastrointestinal system allows you to catch up to Larry Chang using AI. You see, you don't need this interaction because pretty much my entire agenda, all of the agenda, it's been said in some format before. And is that intimidating? Yeah, it's kind of intimidating, but it's actually just cathartic. It's cathartic because you don't need to be friends with me. You don't need to have me as a mentor. You don't need it. Because you can simply just use AI. You can just simply use AI. Does that make you feel better? It makes me feel better. Why does it make me feel better? Because you don't need old school mentorship where I hold your hand and say, Go ahead and drop a 2-bomb. It'll be okay. Maybe you have a hard time with it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe whatever. Okay, this is what I mean, is that when you use AI, you can ask it empowering questions. So I did need to go on the other side of that. When you're asking bad questions in the real world, you're going to be asking AI not the right questions. In a time where the world's information and the world's money is literally at your fingertips, you just need to ask slightly empowering questions. Okay, fully empowering questions. And once you start to ask really bad questions, you are fucked. AI has caught up to Larry Chang. So you don't need this. You can just use AI to say these 5 or 6 or 20 empowering questions. Let me give them to you for free. Which is, what would Irv Grousbeck do if he had a computer science degree from the University of Illinois? Here's another question, which is, what about James Bond? What if he had a computer science degree from Stanford University that you could get on YouTube? You don't even have to pay some scam school, Weber International. You can just study the shit free on YouTube. Unless, of course, you're pulling a student loan scheme scam where you're not even standing close to the money printer. You're standing close to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and Stafford Student Loans, and you're going to a conference at the Marriott to say, how do we stay in compliance to make sure the government keeps printing money to give to schools in order for Chinese people to not get into school, and we have slavery and debt for black people and women to get into school, because that's the new slavery. They are victims. I didn't believe them initially until I figured out how student loans work. Did you know that you can't bankrupt a student loan? What? Vote for Larry Chang for president. Once you can bankrupt a student loan, schools that are scamming are fucked. Ditto law schools, even without the government rug pull. So what I'm talking about is this one line of code that can fix student lending. Rel equals 0, meaning you don't have to be a bankrupt student loan person. You can just stop paying if the credit bureaus were to score you relevant of school loan equals 0. To show you that I actually am deeply understanding credit knowledge 9 is this. Did you know that when a doctor goes to med school, they actually have super shitty credit, but the mortgage company gives them a loan anyway because the relevance of student loan debt is 0, because the doctor, they're not going to go back to get another medical degree and then owe another $250,000. Therefore, the mortgage company says relevance of student loan equals 0. Here's your mortgage. This is why doctors and lawyers actually usually have super shitty credit. Rich, but super shitty credit, and now they gotta get a woman who has perfect credit. This is why marrying a rich person, it's so easy. It's so easy. That is the video for Monday. What they don't teach you in school about marrying a multi-millionaire. It's so easy. And I've already gone over it, but people like it when I make it funny. And so that'll be for Monday. Agenda, super agent. It's 007 stuff. That was the video I did on August 12. You're welcome. 007 jokes. You're welcome, page 5. Emotion, emotional damage. I need a voice acting coach. I have zero Chinese accent. Larry, you know me better than any girlfriend. That's actually no homo. Mentorship. Chapter 5 of my mentor's book that I reorganized. Fuck you, humanity. I'm going to take a dude's book, Mark McCormack. It used to be 2.5 stars. It's borderline 4.5 plus. It's actually higher than my Uber rating. Larry, you know me better than Lucifer does. And because I am actually not trying to ruin you. Audit. ZZZ Best Carpet Cleaning, page 433. Don't accuse me of doing a window washing accounting fraud, because that is so far away from the money printer. Why? Because look at who owns a window washing business. It's a bucket and a squeegee. That's it. Carpet cleaning is a little bit more ripe for accounting fraud. So if you're accusing me of window washing fraud, what kind of retard are you? ZZZ Best Carpet Cleaning. Why would I want to commit a lesser fraud than the fraud that I sniffed out at ZZZ Best? I star on page 433, Ben Graham, the intelligent investor. You can look up who won ZZZ Best Carpet Cleaning over Duck 9. You can look at the comparison where how do you make more than $180 million as a carpet cleaning company? Question that's empowering. How many trucks did you use? Oh, we don't do that kind of audit. You basically are telling me as Ernst & Young that you don't know how to audit like an engineer? Physicist, top 50, Albert Einstein, Elon Musk, Larry Chang. We don't want to go to the Sloan School of Business. We want to go to the Elon Musk, Albert Einstein, Larry Chang School of let's not hire a business douchebag to fuck us as a physicist. Billy Durant, he's the flagship dude for let's not get fucked by an accountant. I'm not going to say that we do the fucking. I'm just going to say that we don't need an accountant to steal our business. Non-employee co-founder. Bibliography. This is just book club. This is me actually charming Kobe Bryant, where Kobe Bryant thinks that I'm a better guy because he's able to listen and process information. Mr. Bryant, it's me, Larry Chang. Hi, question mark. Do you realize that your press conferences are actually bibliographies where you talk about, correct me if I'm wrong, the world is your library. Do you realize your press conferences and your mentor mentions are just bibliographies? You, come to dinner. Thank you, no homo. I have other, no, you don't. Cancel your other stuff. Come to dinner. Tell me more about the bibliography thing. Tell me more about the mentor mention thing. Oh, your dog is super cute. What's his name? Baxter. Or is it Brady? Or are they the same dog? Which one bit Kobe? Which one bit Mark Dashbach? Bibliography. The reason I seem like the number one smartest human on the planet, I walk and talk like that, is because I'm the third institution of Silicon Valley. I don't want to guest lecture at your shitty college, Stanford, Harvard, safety school. I don't want to. You should have just given me a PhD and I would have gotten bored. MIT also. Maybe we can get that four-way going. If you could But before I accept the PhD, you're going to need to give Orville and Wilbur Wright their post-mortem bachelor degree. True story, physicists, Wilbur Wright and Orville Wright, they are non-matriculated from Yale University. Fuck you. Fuck you right in the fucking face. How do you disprove a 2-hour prototype in air? We are the Smithsonian. We don't believe in airplane flight. More than 1,000 witnesses flew the airplane for 2 hours, and you're going to give the accreditation of inventing an airplane to Nimitz? Oh. The Wright brothers, physicists who didn't die poor because we slung and sold our own shit. First customer, the French War Department. How much of a bibliography am I? 1306 West 3rd Street. Because Wright brothers, they invented more stuff than all of black people, all of women in humanity combined. 2 dudes who thought Ohio was too expensive. They had to go to North Carolina. Did the government give them $50,000 to invent an airplane? No. They had to sell used bicycles and bicycles. Catherine, their sister. This model that I'm talking about, it's not innovative. This model is 7,000 years old, called Larry Chang, you don't need money to make money. Because the Wright brothers, they did not, morning, 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 how are you? Eric does a great job. Eric provides me with garbage bags. I never know which size garbage bag. I can't just eyeball a garbage bag. Now that I'm saying this, I need to learn how to eyeball a trash can and say, boom, 65 gallon square. I need to eyeball a trash can, boom, 40 gallon. I don't know why I don't do that. Orville and Wilbur Wright. So you'd think that with a working prototype, you could get some VC financing. You'd think that. But even afterwards, the Nimitz, he didn't create nor invent an airplane. He did not. He is the cautionary tale for don't commit an accounting fraud when you're trying to do aerospace engineering. Boeing 737 Air Max catching strays. Catching strays. Oh, am I hurting feelings? Your aerospace engineering classes don't care about your feelings. Are you enjoying this content? Are you enjoying this content? I'm enjoying delivering you this content. Jesus Christ! That is Bitcoin. That is the Lord's money. Because what if Jesus just could code, the outcome would be different. Because then the Roman Empire wouldn't have clipped money, and you wouldn't have to turn over the money traders, the money brokers at Temple. And the reason you had to trade money is because the government was in charge of dirty money. That's why Bitcoin is God's money. Speaking of the opposite of God, Peter Thiel, his 3 lecture series on the Antichrist. Why didn't you just recruit me, Peter Thiel? I check all the boxes for Lucifer, all of them. Except one is I love Jesus, and I know that Lucifer loses. But that's Peter Thiel's sales effort and sales skill is you can't woo me. you can't put darkness in me? This just got complicated, but it's so simple, which is the reason he's not trying to sell me on being his butt boy JD Vance is that he knows that he can't sell. Do you get it? I get it. He can't sell. He can only sell pedo adjacent people. God. This video feels pretty genius. Fund of Founders. We're back on topic, blending Peter Thiel with non-employee co-founder. You see, Peter is a non-employee co-founder of Palantir. Congratulations. He does genius stuff. He got it from Mark McCormack, but he won't bibliography it. This is the best video I've ever done because he steals without attribution. And when you're a lawyer and you want to start your first thing, you do what Peter Thiel does. It's called Stanford Law Review. You change one thing and now you're a student at SLS, Stanford Law School, creating a business called Harvard Law Review at Stanford. But then you just drop the Harvard and you just call it Stanford Law Review. Why is that not in Peter Thiel's book, 0 to 1? Am I the only one who read it? Like I'm Larry Chang? You don't need Larry Chang. AI has caught up to Larry Chang. Go ahead and ask AI. Hey, in the book 0 to 1, does he even explain how to go 0 to 1 million, let alone 0 to 1 billion? Founders Fund, stock full of non-employee co-founders. Luke Nosek, non-employee co-founder, PowerSet. Ken Howry, non-employee co-founder of Larry, Kenny, and Luke's going to South by Southwest 08, 09, 10, 11, 12. And then Max Levchin getting married right during South by 2009. Or was it 2010? I forget. Max Levchin, don't be angry. Just accept that you were in my pop-up and congratulations on going to University of Illinois. And Max Levchin, you're my mentor. Vaginal mucus with my friend Kara Swisher, Max Levchin, Kara Swisher, mentoring Larry Chang on ovulation cycles, vaginal mucus, and how to get pregnant using an app called How to Get Pregnant. Founders Fund, non-employee coworker, day 0. What's a non-employee coworker? That's AI. What's a non-employee co-founder? That's day 1. Day 0 of what, Larry? Hashtag 21 days of GrokBot at South by Southwest 2027. Oh my God. Agenda reading, which is 21 days of GrokBot at South by Southwest. 21 days of GrokBot at South by Southwest. Day 20, we are going to be doing something magical. It's called, we're doing something magical. It's called, congratulate us, we sold, congratulate us, we sold Web 12. We sold hashtag Web 12. We sold it. That is day 20. That is day 20. That is day number 20. What's day number 20? That would be March 20, 2027, which is the We Sold Web 12. We sold Web 12. We sold Web 12.